Dumb shit. Now, I made a smoke, right? Definitely did it. Found it. Okay.
To meet you somewhere public so we can install some air cooling in his skull.
Got it. I'm ready.
Do you have Emma, child?
No, shit hit the fan. Can you meet?
What happened?
She saw us coming a mile away. We could have a leak or a snitch. Meet me in Piccadilly.
No. Piccadilly's crawling with Albion. How about Trafalgar Square?
Sounds good.
Bagley, what do you think?
Trafalgar Square is optimal.
Good, it's decided. I'll see you soon.
He's disconnected.
All right, give Child the ring. It's time to reunite the bedroom.
Capital.
Yes. What?
We're good. Bagley's gonna send you deeds. Now you send us our operative.
You can have them when Richard is dead.
Oh, come on. We need him.
No, let him go. We are not getting fleeced.
Fine. As a show of trust, I'll order a hot drop at a random location. I will not, however, waste anyone covering them. So get there fast if you want them back in one piece.
Damn. Kelly chapter started down the dark web. Hey, it was Kelly who stole my thing? Yeah, I'm doing the SIRS mission.
Monitoring the drone network. Mary Kelly has finally sent out the invitations to her slave market sale.
No, that's why I got that. Okay.
It's Caitlin Lau. This is your specialty. Hack one of those drones and get the location where she's selling those poor microchipped people. Let's put an end to
they're
this.
poor. Okay, I should probably fast travel, right? Waterloo. That's where your operative waits for you. Ah! I'm just getting caught up. Don't shout in the street. We don't want shouters. Come here, enemy! Excuse me? Wind out. Oh wait, I know where we are. Wait, but if it is underground, it might be around the corner here.
There's our missing friend. Uncuff them and send them back to the safe house.
No, I want to use them. It's my boy. He freaked out, man. Do I have a pro hitman in the game? I don't. I have spy, and like this guy has a silenced weapon, but I haven't found like a pro hitman. If you know any good spots where there's like the odd ones, because I mean I've got most of my recruits down now, so it's only if there's like someone really extra special like that that I'd recruit.
A pair of fresh underpants. Now, let's get someone over to Trafalgar Square.
Agreed. Time to end this.
Alright, I'm gonna become my boy though. Get the silenced pistol out. Back in the team.
Good news. It's time to put your life on the line for the resistance.
It's about time.
Oh no, I do have a professional hitman. My bad. She's my professional hitman. Yeah, she's sick. Basically, I go between her and so yeah, I do have a professional hitman. I was just an idiot. But yeah, so I have professional hitman. I go between professional hitman and my budget spy. So I have an actual spy, but the spy has a really irritating voice. So I've got this dude who he only has a silenced pistol, but he gets me through.
Let's go over the plan. The Canadian
Can only find him in the dark. Right, cool. I think I got her from clearing one of the regions, you know, one of the areas.
So, here's what's going to happen. There are 4 snipers covering the angles. Here, 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 and here.
And here.
Your job is to locate Malik. And when you're sure it's him, scratch your eyebrow. That confirms the target. Then count to 2 and duck.
Yeah, and then you put a bullet in me too. Is that how this goes?
I've seen what you people are capable
Why can't I just
of when
take out
you're
Malik
pissed
myself?
off. If you don't fuck with me, I won't fuck with you. How does that sound?
Terrible.
Agreed.
Are you fucking
Live streamer talking to fans. No more viewers? Okay. Let's have a little wait for him.
Fire team leader, report.
Shit, I've got biscuits.
Nice clear shot in this test sector, so.
Don't tempt me.
Where the hell is he?
He's baited us. It's a tarp!
I don't like this. I really don't.
Hang on then, if it's gonna get bad, at least let me do this. So these biscuits, right, they're like chocolate chip digestives from Sainsbury's. They're really good, but they're terrible, terrible, like, consistency for dunking. Like, if you do a single one, it's almost 100% gonna crumble. So you have to, like, double dip it. Just to hold a bit more, like, consistency, you know? Good stuff. See, fucked up. I fucked up. Whoa, Bubba. Like instant, man.
Like it either. Shit. I don't have a filament terminal in here. I'll have to request one. Bear with me.
Yeah,
This will
they
take
just
a
basically
while.
instantly crumble. They're really good. They're really tasty,
Need some
but
help.
Oh, if only every person in London was required to wear a piece of high-tech surveillance equipment. Start hacking optics, and I'll see if any of them caught sight of Malik.
Copy that.
Find the prick. Begin searching.
I'll scrub their body cam memory to see if it got a look at Malik.
Don't let them escape.
they're good though. They're worth the risk, but you have to double up on the biscuits.
Search and alert protocol.
Can I get in the fountain? Nice. I've been through the fountain before on many a night, but
He's either leaving a dead drop or trying to eat out on the cheap.
What is going on?
Fuck. Malik may be doing his laundry. It's a technique for losing a surveillance team. If so, that dead drop has a second meeting location in it.
Is our cover blown?
I don't think so. He'd vanish if he
Extend
thought there
it.
was a real threat.
I kicked him out.
I'll put the shooters
Good
on
shit.
standby while we readjust.
Not seeing any relevant video or photographs. Keep looking.
Whoa,
Searching the
whoa!
injury
They
zone.
just shot them.
Nothing. Try someone else.
Well, that's why they're ex dead sex,
Person
man.
wasn't in the area during the relevant period. Try again.
Wow. What the fuck is What the fuck is happening? Why is their machine guns going off? And where from? Is it gonna be the bomb? Maybe I shouldn't have sent this guy because he's gonna die, right? He's my favourite. He's gonna die. I can hear the beeping.
What the fuck is going on?
Did you really think I could be outsmarted by Nigel?
No, I can't lose this dude. He's my favourite.
He recorded that.
I have to use that
meeting
other
because
shitty
I wanted
spy,
him to.
otherwise.
It got to Emma Child because I wanted it to. And now law enforcement has full profiles on all of you. If you want to live, get on the ground and put your hands on your head.
I think you've mistaken me for a coward.
No, you misunderstand. I meant so the shrapnel doesn't hit you.
Oh, loud. Building go boom.
Move in! Damn it. They're over here!
This totally wasn't me, though.
Get a fucking move on.
Child was in the embassy. Shit!
It's too late. Go.
Don't try and kick, you fucking tart. Oh, fucking hell. Bloody hell. Rune streamer 10 stream raiders is ready. Oh, is it? I didn't even hear it.
auto drive now enabled?
Oh, shit. I mean, they just don't see me.
Can anyone see the suspect?
Motherfucker. Motherfucker.
They must have got away. Suspect is unsighted. Unsighted sweeping area.
Let's let them go past.
Hey, does anyone know why I'm suddenly
Okay.
wanted? I didn't even do anything this time.
Yes, I'm having the same issue. Bagley, what's going on?
It seems Malik wasn't bluffing. Your faces are all over the news, and
Oh,
not
nice,
in a
we're
cool
famous.
way.
Damn it. Bagley, rally everyone to the safe house. We need to debrief.
Can I still do the other? That didn't like boost me into like. I can still do the Kelly missions, right? A lot of cars in the park today.
I found a potential recruit for you. Drop in a pin on your map.
Okay. Right. Okay, the Kelly ones are still here. Cool. Ooh, we get the Lion Knocker with a crown on as well. Nice. Alright, well, let's go for this one for a little bit. Get away from me, boss. You don't know me. Oh, news. Love
In
news.
breaking news, a large explosion has occurred at the Canadian High Commission in Trafalgar Square.
Was that what it was?
SIRS has issued a statement
Can I break through
that
here?
the terrorist organization DedSec is active once again after months of relative silence.
Wasn't me. It
If
wasn't
you
DedSec.
suspect anyone of being a member of DedSec, report them to SIRS immediately.
Should I report my
using
team?
your CSAY app.
I should report my team and see if I can get some money for it. What do you see? What you saying?
Suspect you've been a victim of hacking by an unknown force.
Yeah, what'd you do? Stop looking at me! That's right. And you remember that. Okay. Where did our mission go? Is it here? Oh, just acquire an invitation from a delivery drone. Okay, so I just need to find a delivery drone. Oh. Counterterrorism, cargo. Oh. You're a delivery drone. Oh, that was fireworks, was it? Oh, there it is.
SIRS Counter-Terror Director Malik personally oversaw an investigation that uncovered the true identities of every operative in DedSec's London cell.
Poor Daft Punk case. Okay, we got our invitation.
Well, that was simple, even for you. Give me a moment to decipher the security codes.
So, Bagley,
Oh.
what do you have?
Mary Kelly is holding her sale at Hackney Baths, opened in 1904.
Hackney
and
Baths.
was, as the name implies, a public sanitation facility. In today's more enlightened modern times, it's a slave trading market.
She mentioned foreign investors, so this is big. It means associates, clients, employees, anyone remotely involved in her organization. We're taking Mary Kelly down from within.
Inspector Lau wants to take her case against Mary Kelly to a contact in the Attorney General's office, which means gathering as much data as we can to make sure it has the leverage needed for them to prosecute.
The microchips are a huge part of this equation that we know on
Songwriter that does Krav Maga. Nice.
We need something tangible.
It's a pretty good combo. Swim instructor, hey?
See if you can find anything.
Museum guide.
Blueprints, receipts,
Artiste.
samples.
So, the plan is simple. Crash the Kellys' soiree, find out as much as you can, and, minor detail, try not to get killed.
Can't be too careful at the Baths team. Mary can kill
Investigate
all her
the slave
captives
auction.
with the push of a button.
Sounds
if
fun.
we try to free them now, they're good as dead. She doesn't know we're on to her yet. That gives us the advantage.
Maybe I should change into a Chelsea kit for this one. Hoxton as well, it's the fucking hipsters. Bloody knew it. The hipsters are the ones doing all the slave trade. That's how they can get like those pop-up restaurants all the time. More news? Oh my god.
Public approval of SIRS shot up today following Counter-Terror Director Malik's statement that the Five Eyes nations will execute a coordinated global response to the DedSec threat.
Mr. Malik, what is the service doing to protect the people of Britain right now?
Well, we're aiming a little higher than just Britain. Soon we can know if anyone in any C2S using country in the world so much as utters the word DedSec.
SIRS advises citizens that positive discussions of the DedSec terrorist organization or their actions may result in investigation.
Whoa, dude, watch yourself.
Now it's all on the dark web.
Auto drive now disabled.
Organized crime.
Yeah, if you want to make something thrive on the black market, just make it illegal.
What now?
Don't just blunder in. Hack the building's CTOS hub and see what to expect once you're inside.
Alright.
Not a bad idea.
Bagley's like all like do this, do that, but he's turned up for one mission, which now shows me he could have turned up for any mission, due to lazy bastard face. Happy baths. That's not where I'd want a bath. Wouldn't because you think you're superior. I know we're all human. That was my point on 10/11/2018. Oh, I see. Yeah, nah. The first one had a slave auction too. Oh, did it? And you could dismantle a human trafficking ring. Well, that's pretty cool. I mean, I think that's the main aim for this, but we just have to get deeper into the things. So we have to allow it. Why do it himself when he can send some dumb patsy? That's true. Oh, hello.
System access.
Fucking hell, Scarface over here.
Whatever information you can in there.
Tony Montana, man.
And find a way to free those people.
A songwriter. You look like you're being kept here.
Yet. Good thing too. The champagne's late, and you know how these rich bastards like free plonk. Weaned off the teeth with it.
Oh, I think we found him.
Come on, look at the camera. Straight. Right, that's good. Stand up now, and slowly turn around. I don't want to do this. Please. Get your fucking ass up. Fucking miserable.
This is getting a bit
There's no
dark,
way this bastard will sell. The buyers expect high quality
The
stuff.
quote with no context is pretty convincing.
All right then. Get him down.
And that's really all we can take. You know, he's had plenty of time to think of a rebuttal now.
I'm sorry. I'll do what you say.
Oof. Oof.
Don't take me there, no!
He's going to be made into dog meat. Well, you knocked over the camera, you tit.
Damn.
It's alright, there's one right there.
What the fuck?
We gotta see about this.
Chances are good the basement will be locked. Chances are equally good that one of these knobheads left their access code laying around somewhere.
I don't think we'll ever find some sort of access code or key though, that's the issue.
Thanks for the cellar key, knobhead.
Get him.
Fucking excellent.
Okay, so we are going to free some slaves. Fun times. That's something everybody can enjoy. There's a lot of people in here, apparently.
No one here. I'll keep looking.
No one here, that's true. No one to see here, move along. There we go. Context is critical. About words have no meaning, especially in quotes. I've always said that. I believe the only terms ever said about the quotes were if it's in the quotes, it's true. Yeah, and it hasn't been quoted you saying that. That's true. That's a good point, Ivan. Alright, I'll try and be quick, but I'm trying to take my time and enjoy the game. Yeah, that's it. That's a good shout. Everywhere's clear until it's not. Oh, Jesus. Oh, you're a person, right? Boop! Get wrecked, people.
Cannot get over the animalistic filth happening around me. Drink up, you evil swine. Your day of reckoning is coming.
Golden
Keep your head.
Goose, so
If we try
shit.
anything before disabling the microchips, Mary Kelly is liable to purge her inventory.
Oh shit, Damien Hirst is on board with them. Oh no. They always said he would start using his art for evil one day. Huh, straight just organ taking, alright. I thought it was like just actual slave trades, but this is organ trade too.
So this is the Golden Goose. A dark web marketplace for drugs, human trafficking, slaves, organs, weapons.
I guess just
the
everything.
lot.
Tell us about the
We
drugs
take
though.
down the worst of the worst right here, right now.
I suggest washing your hands after this. Well, here's something interesting.
Miss Kelly, why is our explosive shipment delayed? You've received the crypto.
Every penny, love. Must admit, I thought you was some trolls chatting shit in Mum's basement.
And what do you think now?
So maybe you live upstairs.
Well funded, and my organisation could be implicated in something quite ghastly. I think the price just doubled.
Get
It's your reputation. But we can offer you something more valuable than money.
What's that
collectible
then?
cards.
Power. We can make you the Queen of London.
Queen is dead, to be
No.
fair.
A queen is sovereign, autonomous.
Unchecked.
Nose piercing. Not that right there.
London will be yours.
We'll actually give them some eyes. Oh shit.
Oh, I know a good deal when I hear one. Fireworks are on their way.
No, looks like she's got a cigarette in her mouth.
Don't burn yourselves now.
Ah, this is the nail in her coffin. Mary Kelly supplied the explosives for the bombings. Add that to the slaves and the organ market.
Some blood.
She is done.
Some hearts, some livers.
An interesting turn of
Kidneys,
events.
eyes,
so
lungs.
Mary isn't zero day,
How
but
much?
she's involved. I have to admit, zero days.
370,000 for some brand new lungs.
Even I
Not
didn't
too
suspect
bad.
this.
Searching
and
for
I
breath fresh
suspect
air,
a
looking
lot
for
of
further.
things.
Whether you're a long-time smoker
Let's not lose sight
or
of what
preparing
we're
for the
doing
upcoming
here.
marathon,
We
a
need
wide range of
everything on
premium
the
lungs, what's that
Golden
slot you
Goose for
need?
Caitlin's case. Bagley, were you able to
That's what
recover
can
any
be sold
data?
separately.
This is a simple market site.
not bad.
I've recovered inventory lists, but not much that will help Inspector Lau's case.
Bagley, we need to find the Golden Goose's servers. We can pull the information Caitlin needs and shut this thing down before it fully launches.
I'd love to, but the servers are rudely jumping all over the world. They're probably using a shuffle protocol and some kind of mixnet. I can work it out, obviously, but it will take me a few days.
The host upstairs seems to be running the show. Let's see what he knows about the servers.
Oi, oi. That's if I don't just shoot him. It's my prerogative to just shoot them.
Get looking. We don't have all day.
I mean, you have until I end stream. Super kick.
Can't hide forever.
Quit playing games with my heart. Watch out, cuz. A rum bandu. No, could you not? Oh shit, that might make it harder to actually... Yeah, cool.
Good instincts. I've got coordinates for the Golden Goose servers, and as a bonus, the microchip control relay. Both are at Neogate.
Wow, look at you.
Everyone just get out of my way, please. I'm trying to leave the... Oh, no! Ah, well, shit. I thought it was already... Get out of my way. Get my way now. Hey, this is my car.
Auto drive now enabled.
DedSec, we need that server data. Once we have it, I'll take it to the Attorney General's office. Mary Kelly is going down for all of this.
We will shut down those servers along with the microchip relay. Everyone who's been implanted needs to be freed.
Next stop, Neogate. It seems Mary hid the Golden Goose service in the heart of a cybersecurity software company. I don't condone her actions, but I must applaud the method.
Again, I've spent almost all of my
Cool.
life doing
I think we might switch back to the other ones and finish that set of missions now. I just wanted to make sure, like, these missions were still okay to do. Because that seemed like a bit of a bigger thing, making DedSec all wanted.
So we might as well carry on.
So, okay, yeah, I'm going to switch to the other mission. Although this sounds like the start of a next thing, actually, I suppose. 6 control was a bit turned out he was the one who I mean, we could go here. The proposal, I guess. Yeah, fuck it. It doesn't say like it's a mission that's going to stop you doing other missions, so I assume we're good. Oh yeah, we'll probably get some new side missions too. Oh, you ain't got a side mission for us, okay. Ah, you still do though.
Oh, mate, this is massive.
Is it?
I never thought we'd get this kind of reach.
Is it?
What do you mean?
It's fucking Stormzy. You know, Bossy Bob. Shut up. Bloody Glastonbury.
Right.
The man sent us a message and he's asking for DedSec by name. We're in the big times
Stormzy?
now.
They put Stormzy in
We've got
this?
some fucking high-profile contract right here.
That's why they couldn't afford anything.
I'll
They
send you the
fucking
message.
got Stormzy?
And for the love of
Why?
fucking God, do not cock this up.
Well, I was going to do the mission, but maybe we should see whatever the shit this Stormzy mission.
Here's the word, yeah. Sir's been after me for ages, blocking my channels, shutting down every stream I open, and closing my fucking bank accounts. I made my career calling out those in power, and now they want to stop me.
Made your career making
track,
music.
It's crazy, and I'm going to lay it down right here, then we're sending it out worldwide, bigger than anything you've ever seen. But I need your help. Sirs know we're here.
This seems horrible.
They killed our connection to the servers outside, and no servers means no show.
Wait, is this just going to be a plug for one of his
Everyone needs
songs
to
or
see
some
what they're doing
shit?
to us in London. Treating us like savages, like cannon fodder. Fuck that. Let's do this together.
Fuck. We've got movement back here.
Shit. Alright, let's roll.
You heard Mr. Ormsey. DedSec has a role to play in this. Now backdoor
Mr.
Albion
Ormsey.
servers and let's get this illegal show on the road.
Well, fuck it. We'll switch to that for now then. Let's go see what this debacle is going to be about. It's just going to be a plug for one of his songs, though, right? But yeah, maybe that's why another big chunk of the budget went in, I guess, getting like Stormzy on it and shit. Iron loves a bit of grime. Oh, he's doing it at the IMAX as well. I suppose that's a good shout. Fed up retiree. Doesn't sound that great. Oh yeah, there's untracked missions I need to find out about as well. Oh wait, it's over here. Stop it. Locked. Motherfucker. Cock it. Oh lord.
Stormzy's accessing the server. What kind of show can he put on while he's hidden away?
Check one, check two. Yo, what's going on, people? It's Stormzy, it's the problem.
This feels
It's
weird.
Big Mike, and we've got DedSec running interference.
This feels proper weird.
Yo, planet Earth, I want everybody watching this to spread the word. Sirs is here.
Use the
and they're
signal.
trying to
No,
shut us
don't do
down.
that.
Everywhere you look, there's some jacked up guards locking us up, murdering us, and if they can't do that, then they just take what they want from us. They make us poor, and then they beat us down to nothing so that we can't resist. And you know what? None of this is new. The powers that be, they've always been trying to keep us down. Same shit, different day. But me, I'm the one thing they
Still
fear
the same day
most.
for me.
I'm a black man with money. I got shit to say, I got the P to back it up, I got tech, I got fame, I got fans, and I got Ross Clark DedSec ready to fight with me. No matter how hard they hit us.
This is cheesy
and
as
I mean
fuck.
all of us. We've got to let our minds speak. And if anyone wants to stop us, if anyone tries to bring us to our knees, then all I can say is, Let the rain
Good
fall
luck.
on our enemies.
Oh. Could say good luck, you know, be the bigger man. That's what I'd do. Can I unlock that, please? God damn it. He sounds like Big on your right. I mean, that is what he sounds like, I guess, but... It's just weird, right? Like, what? When you just have, like, a game full of, like... This is even, like, a fake universe. So, like, even though they've got, like... I've heard Muse and shit and, like, Block Party and that in this, like... It's still weird, right? Like, they just randomly chuck in some dude who's actually real.
We've set them off now. Don't let anything or anyone stop the broadcast from going out.
Actually, no. Join my team? Can you join my team? I guess not. That went well. Alright, okay. Should just been using these the whole time. I mean, let the rain fall on my enemies, but I like the rain. So if I was your enemy, I'd be fine with that. I'd be chill. What's that? Fuck off. So Return is just so Stormzy can get his new track out. This is weird as hell. Yeah. I thought the beat sounded familiar. Wanna praise ya. They should have just played the original of this song. The original song of this was a fucking tune. I can't remember who did it now. Just wanna praise ya. Yeah, so you should have just played this. Fuck the Stormzy song. No offense, Stormzy, bro. Right, son of a bitch. Oh shit, what coincidence, yo. The song lasted like the same amount of time as the upload of it. And then it crashed my game. So I have to do that whole shit again. I have to listen to that whole song again. Oh, hang on. Oh, thank fuck. I was like, I don't want to have to do that again. Fuck you, Stormzy. Like, oh no, the game accidentally froze. You have to do the entire Stormzy song again.
Looks like from the ground. The city is fucking popping tonight.
Get to safety. I should do that bit right. You can't see me, don't worry about it. No, 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 no. No, no, I'm someone different. I'm someone different than what you think. My name's Jason Bourne. The government don't want me. That's what you get. Shackles on my feet so I can't run well. I'm gonna fall over. I'm gonna fall over. All these people get to see my dope-ass mask. Oh, hey, how you doing?
Search has yielded no results. Report back to
Have fun.
HQ.
Bottoms and shoes? What? Why did I just get those? Is that slave clothes?
What are we saying, bro? The track is trending global. Certain thought they could shut us down. But you lot weren't having it, though. You lot smashed it, man. I'm still gassed from that show. I can't believe we did it.
I mean, I didn't really see shit.
Dead set. We make a hell of a
I
team.
had to just fight the whole time. I didn't. If that was a performance, I didn't see shit.
No.
What's wrong? Is that him, or did that man just shout no, and run towards me and disappear? Oh, that's a nice car. I should have kept that one. Oh well. Life happens. So yeah, that was pretty fucking weird. That was just a weird interjection. Stormzy did that for Disney's track, yeah, right. Well, I still feel like we should have seen, like, I mean, you heard the track, but there was a lot of explosions over it. And it's not like you could watch the video of what was going on, like, in his thing. So, like, yeah, I don't really feel like it was worth anything, you know? You didn't really see anything, you just fought outside the IMAX. If anything, why didn't we do it inside the IMAX? Fucking screen, 15 double-decker buses stacked together. That's how big that screen is. Whoa. Big stuff. Honestly, what have I told you? You can't be making personal calls on work time. This is ridiculous. Ridiculous. Okay, let's attend this briefing.
This is a message for DedSec.
It's making us all pretty
crazy. In some gruesome way. If you see Malik, tell him.
Batman.
Canada House was destroyed by a series of explosions, and
Yep.
an individual known to be part of the DedSec organization was seen on CCTV attempting to
Hey, that's
flee
me.
the area.
I didn't run that
SIRS
erratically.
new Director of Counterterrorism Richard Malik issued the following statement.
I call upon my counterparts around the world to treat the DedSec threat with all due vigilance. They are not a resistance.
Yeah, maybe I really should have done the other missions before this one, just because stuff might be harder for us now.
Terrorist militia. And along with my counterparts in the Five Eyes nations, I am building and
you get the idea. You're fucked.
They're gunning for us out there. We have to deal with him.
Yes, I wouldn't recommend that. All scenarios show DedSec's odds of survival approaching 0 before he can be found. Malik probably worked out the same thing.
Actually, a few of us cooked up a scheme that could help. Bagley.
Done. The working theory is this. Blowing up a government building like Canada House would require bribes, an infiltration team, materiel, and so on. Doing it without leaving a paper trail would be impossible. Some of you nicknamed this paper trail the Malik dossier. We're going to break into SRS headquarters, steal it, and prove Malik was behind the bombing. If we're lucky, we might even find some details on 0 Day. Your missions list has been updated.
Fair enough. Sounds easy. Can we get Stormzy on the job?
Hey,
We helped him. He's meant to be. Yeah, we done a mission for him. He should be joining us up now.
Bombings, but he's fucking dangerous. If you see him, don't try to take him alive. It's not worth it.
On the contrary, I think what Malik knows about 0 Day and the bombings outweighs the well.
I didn't change his outfit actually, just because he looks like
Malik
cool.
ought to be taken alive and interrogated.
Kill Malik. Got ya. That's it. Let's listen to the drunk music. Drunk music's sick. Let's keep going. Hear the whole jam. Maybe it gets louder while we drink. Fury's checking out. The girl's the voice actor of Billy the Kid from Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Wait, I mean, like honestly, the voice acting. And Brunson, how you doing today, dude? I didn't realize that was your name at first on there. The voice acting in this game is fucking awful. So bad. But the way London's been done is fucking gorgeous. Alright. See you, nerds. Yeah, the drunk music's amazing on this. We can't just fast travel where I wanted to hear the music a bit. So, actually, let's go to Pimlico. This is famous for Pimlico Plumbers, which is a real company. Okay, I wasn't sure if the music would continue, but sick. Ah. It's back. Oh, next wave. Why would you ever not want to be drunk in this game? This music's amazing.
I'm here. What's our target?
We're here to find some documents we're calling the Malik dossier. Basically, it's the Malik was behind the Canada House bombings. Problem is, these documents won't be on one computer. They'll be on dozens, scattered across the country.
What are we supposed to do?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Let's have Malik take it.
It's really worth $1 million.
A supercomputer called Filament to process information drawn from the CTOS network. It's like Noodle, if you could use it to search every document on every
One down.
government or commercial device everywhere in the United Kingdom, instantly. Wow, look at you.
So drunk. I'm so drunk. I'm so drunk. Whoa.
As usual.
Whoa. Hey, mummy. Just drinking. That's my spider drunk, that's the question. And a spider sober. Really should have waited for my buzz to die down. Oh, there's actually a lot more in there than I thought there'd be. Maybe we'll scope this out a bit first.
Must have got away. Alright, let's wrap this up.
Okay. Still pretty drunk. Hey, you. I couldn't tell if you're a good guy or not. I'm sorry, my bad. You were a good guy. But you died, so you were still a bad guy, really, you know what I mean? Nah, it's not a gun. No. See, I ain't got shit. Oh my god, someone's coming for us. Hide, my friend, hide. I need to stop drinking on the job as much. Just get into me. Okay, we can't jump over that. But maybe through here. Die, motherfucker, die. No, stop. That was unnecessary. Is that guy trying to shoot me? Oh, he is. But why? What did I do? I'm just drinking, hanging out in buildings. That's what I do. There aren't too many people coming for me. Are they aiming for me or what? Yeah, they kind of are. Let's just go for it. Oh, I'm straight gonna die. I'm straight up gonna die here. Oh shit me. I need to sober up. Oh shit. I didn't even see that. Okay, I'm starting to sober up. I don't know, it's going alright at the moment. Could go worse, basically. Your computers are broken. No, what are you doing here? I'm trying to deal with your friend over there. I'm dealt with them. Now what did you want? Gonna hide that particular person. Oh no! How am I ever gonna get past these?
Code 3. Closest units proceed to alarm location.
New alarm location. Get him.
Search. Go. Full sweep of the area.
I mean, it's lit up, so I feel like I should be able to use it. Maybe the alarm needs to be stopped first? I'll send my spider out for a bit of fun. I wanna hide and then do that, please. There we go. Can't do anything there. I mean, I'm sure I'm just meant to go through this elevator. Maybe I'm meant to put my gun away. Or maybe I need to get a code of somebody? I mean, I'm sure I already got... I downloaded a code of somebody, at least. Because they're still standing out there. Maybe now it's okay.
In order to access
Oh, it's on the fucking roof. Oh my god. Did I not even need to be in here?
SIRS satellite network with my packet stream from
Oh,
Moon
oh, okay,
Tower.
no, I still had to do it this way, I think. Right, okay. Oh shit. Let's go over here. Get him. Get him. Okay, we got this.
Well done. Now I should be able to stream myself into SIRS's nasty little snoop computer, head to the basement and hack the filament admin terminal. There's an intruder in the building security systems. Sorry, channel is being hacked.
Oh.
I've taken control of building security.
Oh.
But I'd prefer to end this bloodlessly, if you're willing to listen to reason.
I can listen, but I want blood.
Listen. Zero Day took over Parliament security right before the bombings. This is their MO.
What are you talking about? I want DedSec gone, but no one else needs to die. You've proven
Plenty of people need to
very
die.
Skilled,
It's pretty fun
and
to
I
kill.
can put those skills to use. Join
Killed that laptop.
You can still make something of your lives.
You really expect us to join you, sick fucks?
0 Day? No, I mean
0 Day?
You've practically been working for me anyway. And besides, we have a lot in common. We both use violence and manipulation to shape London into something better.
Like
the
a
only
square?
difference is
It's not
I
that
know
square.
what I want it to be. Strong, stable, unified, safe. This is what I value.
Where's the excitement in that?
What about you?
You're such a
I like
fucking
chaos
hypocrite, you
and
don't
skull
even know
crowns.
Fine. If we can't convince each other, then I suppose killing will have to do.
Sweet, okay, cool. Back to original plan. Beautiful. Boop, 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 boop. Sirs. So just bowl my way in. Okay, can I? No,
That
can I?
central server is Filament's admin terminal. Connect me to it to gain access.
There's a bunch of motherfuckers over there. Actually, need to do something with this one. Okay, I was worried that they were just going to straight up attack me. Some cool noises, but what's happening?
Authorities are here to protect
Shit, we've been locked out. Oh, and it seems Malik deployed the microwave drones.
Microwave drones? Like, they're gonna make me some food,
One
right?
of Filament's novel intrusion countermeasures. They use little microwave
Save me.
cannons to selectively destroy compromised hardware, sort of like chemotherapy for computers. The server room automatically seals itself while they're deployed.
Suggestions?
Try hijacking one of the microwave drones and use it to shoot the other ones down.
Get fucked, nerds! Best believe shots fired. Best believe. Oh shit! Shots fired a bit more. Need to be in view of it. Come on, nobody. Nope, shit! I did the wrong thing. Have to wait until this bullshit. Hello. Okay, let's just start this up. Get this little bugger. Oh, I got him. Nice.
Drones down, server room unlocked. And buggery fuck, Malik has locked me out. He must have a hard line to the server.
Suggestions?
A full power cycle will reset his connection and give us enough time to complete the intrusion. But Filament uses 3 quantum processors with independent power. We'll have to reboot each individually.
Unplug it and plug it back in. Copy that.
Yeah.
Close enough.
Why did you come around that way? That's rude. Super rude. Pick a direction, you know.
Prepare yourself.
Okay, I'm prepared. I'm ready. Got him. Slide over here. Nice, nice. I might as well murder this dude. Like, could you imagine having to live without your friends? Knowing that you were like a failure about it? Now he's at peace. He's less of a failure.
I definitely. Fuck this!
Fuck this, dies. Also, a lot of people have some, like, lame final words. Do you fucking mind? What are you saying?
Could you do something about this drone? It can't seem to take a fucking hint.
Yeah, right, they're being little bitches.
Would you look at this? A chain of custody documents for 40 kilos of Semtex. It ricochets through a dozen shell companies, but ultimately ends up registered to an address in Southall. And would you guess who lived across the street from it for 30 years? Victoria and Imran Malik, parents to one Richard.
That doesn't
prove a thing.
Well, this one is heartwarming and incriminating. It seems that the areas of Canada House immediately around the bomb were evacuated in an unscheduled drill. I have an email chain here between the facilities director and an anonymous SIRS account. Funny that didn't make the news.
You think it's incriminating that I tried to minimize the loss of life? Come on, that's so spinnable and motion sick.
I'm missing his head with like every shot.
It's an unredacted mission report for 2 SRS agents instructed to plant explosives as part of a training exercise, and it's signed and dated by the Home Secretary himself.
Seems it's a bad day
2
to
for
be
1,
the
nice,
secretary.
nice.
Fuck off, you stupid drone. This isn't a picnic and I haven't got any jam.
Just getting nothing done on this.
Could you shoot this drone down? I'd ask it politely to go away, but I'm afraid I don't speak dipshit.
Only halfway through, come on.
Exciting! Did you know that the head of security for Canada House had a daughter stuck in a Cairo jail? And that she was pardoned the week before the explosion? Why, he would certainly owe a very, very big favour to the SRS officer who pressured the Egyptians, wouldn't he?
I suppose he would.
Shit, there we go.
Seems that Malik's given up having the microwave drones.
Oh, I have no ammo.
Now he's got them targeting you. The effect will be about the same, though.
Oh shit, oh shit. Could you not? Could you not? Could you not?
What do we have here? Straight from your own laptop, Malik. Case files on all these little sign-ups you've been running. Honestly, you might as well have titled this Evil Bomb Conspiracy, Doc.
God damn.
That's enough. You can't do this. You mustn't do this. I won't allow it.
What's happening, bro? Nothing you can do. We're at 95%. We got pretty much everything anyway. And we're done.
Independent power has been rebooted. Return to the central core to complete the cycle.
Nice work, Bagley. Now let's get this scheming little rat.
With pleasure.
Switch back to the non-lethal shotty because we don't have enough ammo. Boom, baby.
I'm fully integrated with Filament, and it seems Malik didn't quite have time to cover his tracks. I believe I can trace his position.
Lovely.
Do it.
I've got 8 bullets in the chamber.
All right, let's find you. Too old, too young, too ugly, too female. Ah, there he is. Hello, Malik. You've been disconnected. Is it just me, or does he look constipated?
I think that's just the dev work.
Right.
Oh fuck, my bad, Almighty. I'll do it in just 2 secs. I'll do it in 2 secs. Completely forgot. My bad. My bad.
Oh look, seems someone's locked the door on him. Don't worry, there's no way that's going to. Oh no, it worked.
Oi, what the hell, mate?
Well, that's a wrinkle, isn't it?
I'm super forgetful. It is my bad.
Try to get away in a car. A car connected to the
Oh, there's probably stream raiders too, right? I feel like we've been doing this for ages.
That eye control.
Auto drive now enabled.
Fuck! Hello again. You know, for all your scheming, you don't exactly think quickly under pressure.
Uh-oh. Let me just get the fuck out, I guess. Oh, I thought I was already out. No, my bad, everybody. I thought I was still needing to get out. I didn't know it was going to start me facing the restricted area.
It may take some time to sort through, but it ought to clear DedSec's name. At least for this particular thing.
God damn it.
Malik made the mistake of getting into a self-driving car that owed me a favour. It's taking him to a secure location.
Why don't we just drive that car into the fucking Thames?
Believe me, I'd love to, but he might be part of Zero Day.
And that's how you get away.
I don't know how this all fits together, but we need to find out.
You hear that, Malik? You're going to help.
Whoa! I didn't see that was on fire.
Slow down!
The Malik dossier. That's all that information. Good stuff. Charles spent 300 ETO. On what? Usually it tells me what I get. And Ninja Wolf, thank you very much for the follow there, buddy. Oh, there we go. Some pure white boots. Just running before you. I actually saw it just as I was leaving to go to the loo, and then I completely forgot and didn't like read that bit again because I'd already read it. Well, this guy's proper chasing me.
He's a threat.
Oh, investigating at the safe house. Okay.
Hey, look, they're talking about our friend Malik on the GBB.
I want to see it.
Other documents in the Malik dossier, which were released by the
Get out of
organization known as DedSec. Officially, SIRS
Get out of
disputes
here.
the veracity of the documents, though sources
Get out
within
of
the
here.
organization claim that Richard Malik himself has
Ooh,
fled the country
nice.
following what one described as an unprecedented and humiliating data breach. As more of the dossier is independently verified,
Bike is straight up on its
counter-terror
own.
experts speculate that the bombings earlier this year may have also been misattributed to DedSec.
Yeah, right. We didn't do shit. We're good, wholesome company, you know. Okay. So let's save it quickly, and we will do the Stream Raiders battle, which I'm sure. Yep, there we go. My bad. I completely forgot about this. We'll do haste so everyone can get their boxes quick and then get to the fight. And I will check Epic quick as well. Just gonna save Watch Dogs in case opening up this crashes it. Oh fuck me, Dragon done. Dragon's done. That was nothing. Took him down with ease. Beautiful. Fucking A. GG, guys. So, Almighty and Franny get that. Nice. Okay, so we'll set up the next one. May as well. Probably we'll do... This might be the last one, but... Oh, and we're checking totally reliable delivery service, Bronson. I think, again, that you could quite potentially enjoy too. It was out a while ago now, I think, actually. So get your troops down, guys. So I think it was free a while ago. I don't think it's free anymore. Nice. 50 gold. Get in. But, right. Switch back here. Let me check my library. Oh, so it's saying I can install it. I'm just making sure it's... I'm pretty sure, yeah, I'm sure I have it here. It's in my game library, Almighty, so I'm just making sure it's... Trying to make sure it's not like... I don't think I have like the beta or anything. I think I have the actual game. Yeah, the standard edition owned. Yeah, I have it. Okay, cool. So it's currently $5.99 total reliable delivery. Totally reliable delivery service. God damn it, man. Yeah, so it's on sale at $5.99 for the standard at the moment. $8.99 for the deluxe. $7.99 for the express. And whatnot. But yeah, I do have it, Almighty. So get in on it. I'm totally reliable. Fuck off. Find it yourself. Just look through Epic until you see a game and go, maybe that's what he was talking about. Then that's the one. Okay, yeah. But yeah, I totally do have it. So feel free to get it. We'll have some fun. I don't know if Pecora has it. I did mention it to him ages ago, but it was ages ago. Oh, and you have it too already, Iden. Fucking A. It's like a derpy little game where you and your buddies have to co-op, like little gang beast type people, but to like do deliveries to people in wacky ways. Seems cool. And I have it for free, so that's even cooler. You gonna talk to me about Stormzy again?
Alright. This is a bad one. Someone in 404 sent me a text file.
Right.
DedSec's international safe houses have been compromised.
Who cares? That's the international
Does
ones.
Bolton mean anything to you?
Nah.
No.
Didn't think so. Bolton was a small-time player with DedSec Houston.
He has it wish list on Steam, said you and Carl. Oh yeah, just take it off the wish list just in case.
And he's willing to sell all
Derpy
DedSec
delivery
secrets
sounds dangerous.
to the
Yeah,
highest
been great.
bidder.
Must have grabbed it free and not remember. Yeah, it was
I
definitely
know.
free at one point, and that's
Being
hence why I have it on. I don't
associated
think
with
I've ever
DedSec's
paid
good
anything to
brand.
Epic, but
And I don't want that getting fucked.
But yeah,
I'll send you this
we'll give it a
text
go.
file.
It should be good. It'll be a laugh, I
rest
reckon, even if we
is
play
up
it for a
to
bit.
you.
And it's not too expensive, at least. If anyone wanted to like join in at any point. I don't know how many people it is. I think it's at least 4 players, but I'm not entirely sure. All right. Should we do some interrogation? I guess. I'm already used to read. I thought I'd read the Malik dossier. Oh. Oh, I can listen to the song again. Oh, this is so I missed it because of the fact you couldn't you were just fighting the whole time, but this is what they were doing. We're not gonna actually watch it. I'm just gonna briefly see what it was. So it's like DMCA. Hey, and yeah, how you doing again, buddy?
Let your man speak. I never put no colours on my timepiece. I told you niggas cut me out the grand beef.
Yeah, I was going to try out Wargame Red Dragon, but I haven't even stood in too many free games yet, right?
The American State Department keeps tabs on all their citizens abroad. If you want to
Actually, I
find
wanted to
Heath
save it. That's what I was wanting to do.
Bolton, hack the CTOS hub at the American Embassy, and I can use their records to track him down.
Cool. I just want to...
Right, thanks.
I could just leave him imprisoned in here for like a year, right? I could do my other mission to just leave him in here, but fuck it, we're here. Let's cut his fingers off.
We already know you bombed the embassy, Malik. And you were involved in the earlier bombings too. Now's your chance to confess.
The earlier bombings? What are you... Oh, God, I've been captured by morons. I didn't do those bombings. I tried to stop those bombings. I am a patriot. And they called me a crank. Even Emma. But that's when I knew that intelligence wasn't enough. To save the Empire, I would need power.
He's working with the Empire.
Fast. But you already knew about Zero Day. I'm a spy. So yes, I knew a few details about the biggest terrorist attack in recent memory. Truth to tell, I really did think Zero Day was you. That's just Occam's razor. But if you insist on a conspiracy, Albion stood the most to gain. Have you really not thought of this?
Listen to me, Malik. The truth will come out, and you will stay in here to rot.
Oh, I doubt I'll be here long. These walls will fall along with all of you soon enough.
Oh, is
this
it?
Radical cooperative you created is doomed to fail, like they all are.
Randomly recruiting people from the street after doing one single mission for them. How could it ever go bad?
Apart.
Tight.
You won't even need Zero Day or Albion or whoever. A single unified ideology, a single strong leader. These have been the characteristics of power for all of human history. Democracy and pluralism were anomalies, blips on the timeline. That's what you are, DedSec.
That's nice.
A footnote in the history of the Empire. But now the page is turning, and you are not ready for what happens next.
He's becoming a bit of the Riddler, isn't he? He's definitely walking into like Riddler category here. Cool. Well, enjoy yourself. You've got a shitter. You got some dog food. You got... I mean, it can be slept on. I wouldn't really call it a bed, but... Yeah, sweet. Chapter complete. GG, sirs. GG. Your face looks piggly. Get him. Okay, so... What's data saying? I missed one again. The Stormzy one. It was like, no, you haven't seen it. I promise. Please. Let's get rid of those. So, yeah, let's... do the side mission. I'm guessing Wargame Red Dragon isn't at all related to Silence of the Lambs Red Dragon, is it? Like Wargames, you're sending out cannibals to eat the enemy forces. Because that would be the sort of Wargames like I would probably be like at least, you know, vaguely interested in. Am I here? Is this it? Yeah, okay.
This is the American Embassy. Hack the server, and we should be able to find where Heath Bolton is.
Okay, well, I guess I'll give it a shot. Can't hurt. Oh shit, too far. There's a camera there, maybe that can see it. It can. Oh, it's got to be physical. Alright, we'll just fire a spider over. Go get him, boy. I believe in you, little Desiro. The robotic spider crab of doom. Oh, shit, that was too close. The blood clot spider. I'll leave it out. I'm invisible. You can't see me. I'm right here, bitch.
Don't know where Bolton is either. They're trying to find him too.
Say again.
I need some time to find more information, but due to the investigation, the State Department had special monitoring set up on Bolton's file. Long story short, you have an Albion response team incoming.
Fucking hell.
Just stay there, don't die, and I'll find us a lead.
Well, that's not. I want to get down there, but that seems like it's not going to happen. Operative hurt? No. Oh my god. Serpentine, 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 serpentine. Whoa, why are you shooting me from over here? Why are you everywhere? Ah, that's bullshit. Wow, man, they just baited me into that. That's bullshit. That's entrapment. That's entrapment. They made me shoot a man in the face. How are you so close to me? You just spawn in like round the corner? That's bullshit. Is this a shortcut or a dead end? Shortcut, sweet. Oh fucking hell! I'm gonna hide in a pond.
Negative. No vision of the suspect.
Can't see me in water. They just think I'm a duck. That's why you can't trust AI, man. They can't tell the difference between cars in water and ducks in water.
Control, put out an APW. Target is gone.
Like, they have a fucking busted track on this. What the fuck is that about?
Yes, I think there is. Unfortunately, what is that like? Is it
Also, what's wrong with you? Why you got a marker on you? Amateur hitman. Amateur hitman. You trying to kill me?
Is it the soul of Sky Larson imploding into its own vacuum? Maybe argument. Is it the ego of Nigel Cass that is now so big that it sucked all the light in the universe into itself? I think that it is most likely. Is that? But
Hitman, an operative of Gregor Pumpkin. Oh, Gregor's one of my buddies. Maybe I shouldn't kill them. They got like a marker on them, which makes me think they're bad.
Free from these technological chains, free to choose our own futures, free to live our own lives, free to waste
Either way, she probably doesn't like DedSec now. One of our operatives just ran her over repeatedly with a taxi, as well as all the companions around the area.
Before we go, time for a quick bug off. I'm going to nominate this week Sky Larson here at the Bug. We are all in favour of strong, powerful women. And in many ways, Sky is the ultimate feminist icon, proving that women can do just as abominably awful things to this planet as men. I mean, overall, Alice, I think we're still ahead.
Alice?
Visit the American Embassy.
Who the
Hack
fuck
the
is
server,
Alice?
and we should be able to find where Heath Bolton is.
I can't jump that bullshit. Cheers. I mean, if I kill everyone, no one can shoot me back, right? Oh shit, they got an invisible one, the Predator. You all good? Can this physically interact? I doubt it. No. Okay, let's try that again.
turn up. The Americans don't know where Bolton is either. They're trying to find him too.
Say again.
I need some time to find more information.
Okay, here we go. This is much better.
The State Department had special monitoring set up on Bolton's
Doesn't my guy doesn't get paid. Hey, and Jessica Blue, thank you very much for the follow there. How are you?
Just stay there, don't die, and I'll
Where's all this ammo kept? In its butt. Yeah. That's where you usually keep ammo, right? Don't tell me you can see me, because I'm not going to have that shit. Don't quite know what they're shooting at the moment. Their own servers? I don't think they're shooting my character, so I have no idea what they are shooting at the moment. I think they're just randomly shooting at me because they know I'm here, but the game's cheating, but I'm cheating by hiding in a spot they can't get me. Actually, I'm stealthing it. That's what you're meant to do, right? Stop shooting, please. Stop it. You're wasting your own ammo, dude. That's money. You're just wasting money right now. And I'm done. Hey, Anamai, thank you very much for the 30 fizz bits, my man. How are you going to find me here? Can I please get in the car? I know it will explode fairly soon, but... Excuse me, sorry. Didn't mean that. Oh, what? Come on now. You're going to arrest me just because I murdered somebody with a car. Oh, shit. Get out of the way! I mean, oh, what? Why can't I drive up here? I was hoping to go really fast up here. Maybe if I just park here, they won't see me. Oh, wait, yeah. Okay, this may work.
Where did they go?
Where are they? Hey, thank you again, dude. Get to safety? I'm safe.
According to the American investigators, Heath Bolton arrived in London.
Oh, lordy!
As so many do, but then
Get out and run, get out and run.
also becoming increasingly popular.
Okay, it's not actually on fire.
Use that.
Understood. Pushing you the coordinates now.
Whew. Okay, let's go get him. King's Cross, nice. Look at my dick pic. Pretty sure she just said it was great.
You've arrived at St Pancras Station. This is where Heath Bolton went missing, along with a load of data on DedSec's international safe houses.
Right, thanks.
Someone going missing here screams Albion in a very obnoxiously sarcastic voice. Try looking in all the secure areas, control rooms, evidence lockers, jock straps, whatever they have, really.
Might as well get this started early, you know. Just hide some of these people. We don't want this coming back on us, you know. But did I killed another person, right? Beyond the one out that door. Maybe not. Okay. And no one ever saw you again. There would be no funeral for that man. Where did thought I saw the key shine up somewhere. Oh, that key. Fucking hell. Oh no, come back! Nerd! Stay still. Just keep looking at my dick pic. Keep looking at my dick pic.
Nah, forget it.
Nah, we good, don't worry. No forgetting where we going, baby. Hell. Hello! I totally didn't even see you. I should have crept up on you more, really, I guess, but... Hope you forgive me. Alright. Can I just lob my spider right through that without it getting caught. It seems just it will bounce off an open doorway. Is that correct? Is that what I'm seeing right now? Yeah, a little bit. Huh, hang on. Maybe I'll do with this person. Don't mind. Shh. No, no. No. Now you're resting. Did I not hide them? I thought I hid that person. The shroud did not just last forever. I'll be upset if they're not like forever just hidden from their loved ones. Oh fuck it, I might as well go through here now. Hey. Jesus.
I have Bolton, so to speak.
Well, that's one mystery solved.
Oh, you're up here? Weezy, why are you up here?
To track down the data he stole on DedSec safe houses.
Welcome to Jamrock. I should have had Damian Marley on this for sure instead of fucking Stormzy.
Fucking God! Shit! Look, I'm not DedSec. I fucking swear. I never was.
Hey, someone shoot me from here? Oh yeah, you are. Hello. I didn't even know this was a way.
Signing up was just the easiest way.
You must think I'm a moron, Mr. Bolton. You?
I'm assuming we're going to leave here, but I can't be sure yet, so I have to kind of wait.
Your physical device to my state-of-the-art supercomputer.
Oh shit, dead bodies.
You think is that what this is? No, it's not a rubber ducky. I swear to Christ.
But I've no way of knowing that.
We can always come back in if needed, I guess.
So I have another proposal. Simply, tell me where DedSec safe houses are. If the information
Oh shit.
good, then Mr.
That's how they got their international safe houses. Wow, that guy ratted us out just because that guy was like encouraging him to yell. Hey, do you like my penis?
Fuck me. I'll go see if one of the mercs has a defib kit.
Yeah, turn it genuinely like. Yeah. Send my number along with it.
Anyway, and if more people know, well, that makes it.
Right. So, what?
Official story is
Oh, story. Come back. I need you.
Considering his known terrorist connections. If the Yanks buy it, then we come back and collect these drives. See if there's anything to his
I'll take this one instead.
What's this, Bagley?
This is an audio log of the service's interrogation of Heath Bolton. To summarise, they didn't believe he was as ex-DedSec as he claimed to be.
Gotta get back in there.
Say again.
Gotta get back in there. Good thing I didn't just drive away.
The thing is, he was keeping his information on DedSec safe houses on physical media, like a complete
Dickhead.
The devices will still be around
What
the
are
station.
you doing? What were you even doing, buddy? God damn it, I can't believe I've got to come back in here and smash it up again now. I wanted to put the smashing life behind me, you know? Are you... What happened? Oh, you exploded. That was your issue, wasn't it? Oh, you're right. What's happening down here? You don't look like you've had the best of days. Can I shroud you? I can't hide your shame from your family. Sorry, dude. I would if I could. I just got to break it. Oh, good thing the explosion was fairly small and contained. And one upwards. Oh my lord. Oh! Yeah, don't mind me. Oh, this is actually what I wanted. Stairs. You missed a spot. Hi. I see you. Get. People in here just encouraging themselves. Nice. Good times. Happy times. Times for celebration. I can't remember the fucking way out. Oh shit!
Data's destroyed. Now SIRS got nothing out of Heath Bolton but an earful of whining and an unmopped floor.
Right, thanks.
No, she didn't like it.
Right, question.
Tell me what you think
Any
about
plans
me.
for that torture recording you found? If not, can I have it?
Yeah, alright.
Got him.
Why?
I have not tried Valhalla yet, no. I know Mighty has, so Mighty's been playing it a little bit, but I haven't. Have you tried it at all yet?
Agreed.
Oh, mate, I think you were saying it's like, it's good, but it's different, right?
Well done.
Bye. Okay. Corruption K, baby. Another data we missed. Okay. So we got those two off the map. We still got to get these free. Good to know. Good to know there's still like stuff to do. So we'll probably only do 1 or 2 more missions. If I roll myself a smoke, that will encourage me to stream more though. That always does. I don't know when you were either, since Ubisoft said they're not bringing games to Steam anymore. Oh, they're not bringing it to Steam like at all. I mean, I don't really mind Ubisoft Connect too much. I mean, I've got Watch Dogs free for it. I haven't got this through Steam, for example. At least they give like acceptable like things to make it easy to play with your friends and buy shit on here. Oh, TV time.
A curious story out of America today has audio surfaced in which SIRS officers allegedly torture an American hacker traveling abroad to death. The Home Office has dismissed the audio as a fabrication.
Yeah, it's not what you thought it'd be like, but you've enjoyed it nonetheless. Right, cool. Row. I mean, if you guys want me to smoke, I guess I will. Oh my god, did you see that? That was literally terrifying. I'll help you. No one should have to live through that shit. No one should have to live through that shit. Nothing happened. See? There's not even anyone here. You're going crazy. You're a madman. What are you doing? What are you doing? What's your issue? What's your deal?
Back off, mate.
Me back off? You're the one who walked over here. There's nothing to see. You're just staring at nothingness.
I'm here.
Neogate hasn't been around for long, but they're leading the antivirus market. I bet the Kellys have something to do with this growing success. Regardless, we're about to destroy all of it.
Listen,
I don't know how I feel about destroying.
But let's gather all the evidence we can before blowing it up. This is what we've been chasing after this whole time.
I suggest hacking the camera network to see what's what.
Meow. What do you think I'm doing, Bagley? Jesus, Mary and sandwich. How did that not explode? There we go. Blame it on him. Pretend his savage migraines caused it. Okay. It's a nice server room. If you like that sort of thing. Another 12 hours. Definitely not going to do 12 hours. You liked Origin Odyssey a lot, so you feel like you'd like it. See, I really liked Origin. I haven't finished playing Odyssey because when I was playing it, like the way that they were doing the DRM and shit on Odyssey meant it couldn't run at the same time as streaming it, which was really aggravating. Is that one gonna be like super far away? Yeah. But I do need to get back on it and play it at some point, because it was super fun. What do you think of my penis?
This is absolutely disgusting, even by my standards.
I mean, then could you at least give me some positive criticism for what I could do to make my penis better in your eyes? You know, they slam the penis pics every time I send them, but it's just like, they won't give me any, like, you know, advice on how I could make my penis look nicer. Oh my god, did I see that? Boop! Yeah, lug me in with them. I'm not locked in here with them. They're locked in here with me. Technically, I'm not inside yet. I haven't even started rolling my smoke properly. Okay. She wants a cock ring of you. Oh, that's a good shout. Yeah, I've just been sending a naked mole rat, you know, just straight up dick pics. You're right, I probably should try and like flash it up a bit. Put on like a cock ring, maybe one with like flashing lights, maybe a bejeweled one. I'll do one that looks like it's in motion, so it'd be like, whoa, that's a powerful one, you know, that's got batteries in it and shit. It's a good shout. I can see you've wooed people with penis pics before, my man. Oh shit. It works every time. That's a Brunson guarantee right there. Okay. See what my character did? He did a little hot stepper. To let them know. Here comes the hot stepper. Hi, Kara. Okay. Is that person talking to me? Are you talking to me? We're nearly there. Stream Raiders. In fact, we can do Stream Raiders quick. Why not? Okay. Oh, wrong one. So, Stream Raiders. 2 skull. Where's our little buddies here? Pedal to the metal. Let's do this. Oh, I think we're getting a little bit fucked up, you know. We might have this. It's gonna be a tough one, I think. It's gonna be down to the nail. Oh shit, yeah. Got my bomber. He's nearly done. Yeah, I think this one might be a wash. Shit. Wow. Savage. Salvage to savage. We'll keep playing. We'll do it. We'll do one more. Okay. So, get your troops in. I'm gonna place. Wait. These ones detect the ground, so I'm gonna put one of my little flying buddies. There we go. Lovely jobbly. Get your troops in, guys, and let's get back to computer games. I'm gonna properly stealth this, you know, just like shoot them all in the head. Stealth 1. Stealth 2. Ooh, that's a bit of a long shot with this pistol. They shout themselves, good stuff. When you hear them poo themselves, that's when you walk. You should look around. You never know what you find. Ronan Keating once said, life is like a roller coaster. You just have to ride it. Yeah, we should think about that, you know. Chili Peppers and, was it Funkadelic or Parliament? I think it was Funkadelic. They also said roller coaster of love. Oh child, you know. I think oh child in like, oh good golly, not as in they're loving children. But I didn't write the song, so I can't really say
These
sure.
feeds are from a sub-basement under the server room.
They got lipstick all over
Anyone
them.
up for some light entertainment?
White's been kissing them.
It contains a chemical cocktail. Botulinum, conotoxin, succinylcholine. Well, why go into specifics if you wouldn't even understand? Let's just say it took a lot of trial and error to get the mix right. Wouldn't want to kill him too quickly or contaminate the organs.
Oh my god.
That's
this
fair.
is where they implant the microchips. Test them. Bagley, capture all this footage.
We're gonna just allow
It's
this?
all going into my case file.
We're allowing this to
Here's
happen.
another. I'm glad to see they're trying to keep things sterile. Don't want to risk infection.
We're not going to get in. I suppose we can't stop it at this point, but...
Convulsions triggered by the microchips. And concern over the possibility of damaging the valuable merchandise. The eyes being the most vulnerable. Initial findings indicate
Don't hurt her eyes. That's a bit mean.
Although the damage to the lower stem is minimal,
Can you get two of those?
trigger strong convulsions in
Take
enough, Bagley. I don't need to
take
see
a liver.
any more of this.
There's a special place in hell for all the people involved in this operation.
You've got all the Golden Goose data along with this footage.
Special isn't
Plus,
good,
you have
though,
the
right?
conspiring
Special
and
is
the
usually a
bombings.
good thing.
That must be
That's
enough
bullshit.
to put Mary away.
I hope so.
Mary,
How about
Mary,
blowing
why are
that
you
shit up
bugging?
and disabling those microchips?
Oh, I'm not allowed out yet. I'm not here. I'm not here. Sorry, no. I'm not here. I'm not at work today. Oh shit! They're sending a fucking blow-up spider at me. Kamikaze motherfucker. Fuck off, little dude. Fuck off. I gotta get deeper underground. I gotta Jamiroquai this shit. I gotta Godzilla soundtrack this shit. Let's do it. Oh fuck me! It's running after me. No, go away. Go away, little shitbird. Okay, could everyone stop this, please? It's I don't like those. Right, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Oh, really? What have you been taken? I don't know how I'm meant to get down. That's it. Let's just fight here. Let's just fight here. No more spiders. Oof. Calm down. I need to, you know, get dramatic. Jesus fuck were your last words. We don't even know if Jesus did fuck or not. It's rumoured, I guess, but... Do I have to leave the building to get underground? I feel like I've been in this building a million times already and I still don't know like how to get anywhere on it. There's a lot of dead people. Just a golden server room. Maybe I just need to throw my drone about, actually, my little, my spider about. And just chill over here just in case there's any bad man. Very be tripping. Yeah, you fucking... You're not wrong there, my man. She bugging out, she bugging out. Okay. I am in the area. Relax your batty. We got this. Boom. 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 Like, come on now. Come on now.
You sure I can't just destroy
oh, okay, here we go.
and call it a day?
Oh, it was just been a dickhead to me, okay. I'm downloading a different key first. And then I'll download. Oh, I can actually interact with the PC. Oh, isn't that nice? They put little spider drone receivers in the PC for some reason. Why not? Can I get back up to that? Oh, I probably can actually. Yeah, nice. Wait. You. Come with me if you want to live. Okay, so that works. And oh shit, Sean baby! Coming in with the 20 months worth of subs. Thank you very much, my man. God damn, that surprised me. I couldn't remember what that noise meant. But thank you very much, Sean, dude. And 20 months now. God damn, boy. How are you doing today, my man? hope you're having a splendid day.
This should do it.
Oh, okay, just kill my spider, why don't you? Maybe I should leave. Oh no 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 no! I'm not the one you're wanting. Oh, everyone's after me now. Oh my god, fucking!
I think Kenny's golden goose is cooked. Bagley, your jokes are getting worse, not better.
Just leave the area before the same thing happens to you, alright?
Leave the area, I'm fucking trying. Quickly, I need your shit. Get out of the way.
Contact the Attorney General's office right now. No time to waste. Mary Kelly is finally going down.
Get him.
Don't let us down, Caitlin.
So what happens to all the people that were chipped by the Kellys? We can't just abandon them.
Sure we can.
Any second now, Mary Kelly is going to
And I'm doing splendid cheers, Sean, man. Loving some Watch Dogs Legion in London. You know what I mean?
We can't risk that happening. It might throw a spanner in Caitlin's plans. But we need to help those last few people she's threatening.
Why is this devil person on my screen?
Residence. I've marked it on your map.
Whoa! Did you see that? I like Superman for a little while. Might as well clear that up. Yeah, cool. Now we can claim insurance on the bike. Beautiful. Oh, actually want to go from here anyway? Oh, that's fine. Ow.
I found a potential recruit for you. Drop in a pin on your map.
Animator. What does the animator do? But it doesn't tell us what they do until we get it. I find they're often not that good. I'm just going to carry on with the missions. You know it, my man. Like, I still can't get over just how bad the animations and voices are in this, but most of the rest of the game is really good. Oh shit, I think I wanted that channel. Oh, my bad. Hang on, let me put over. You can have this car. Oh. Yeah, you can have my car. There you go. That's how we make up for that. Ooh, nice roll. He never saw me coming.
Mary's possibly going on a rampage of cleaning house, and she still has control over the microchips in her vicinity. We need to disable them from her security system if we don't want all the help to die.
I don't mind. Yeah, it's not my business. Yeah. I'm glad we had this conversation. Oh, I don't really want to be outside. I want to see that. I guess there is some upstairs, but are they outside upstairs? Huh. Bum 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 bum.
Jesus, what is this?
Just gonna arm everything, man. One down. You talk too much, man. Is that not something I can switch to? They're blue? Dum 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 dum. I'm just gonna have to come and get into this building. Oh no, wait, I need to get my bot into this building before I can actually get myself in this building. Let's find a way. A lot of them might just kill themselves now from me arming those things. Weapon stealer. Wow. That's illegal. you're mainly not a fan of the puzzles in Watch Dogs. They're just typical Ubisoft puzzles. Like, that's the biggest issue. Just rinse, repeat with the puzzles. I don't mind some of them, but yeah, it's it can be a bit long. Oh my god, come on. Can I not just throw my spider in from one of these areas? Maybe I need to go on the roof. I like the first two, but this one you've heard a lot of negative stuff about. I mean, that's the thing. I like it because of London, and I know London well. But like, the missions have still been enjoyable enough. The voices are fucking awful, but once you get over it, well, you never actually get over it. That's the issue. But you can get past it. They've got a knockoff West Ham in here, so that's also boosted my enjoyment of this game a lot. Hey, I can finally find a fucking door. Jesus. Oh shit! Should I kill you? Okay, that's fair enough. That's a good shout. We'll end it. Whatever. They asked me to do this, I guess. But yeah, I'm enjoying this. Number 2 I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed Watch Dogs 2. And this one's definitely been different, but I'm enjoying it. I'm not too sure about the whole just be whoever you want to be. I'd actually prefer if we could just be one person. Like, I like the idea of recruiting a massive gang in that, and like using them when you need to. But I'd much prefer just to have a main person that you could actually change their stats. Like, I'd like to make this guy have like a gun, be able to call a cargo drone, maybe like long hack or something. It'd be cool if you could unlock those by recruiting other people, you know? Like, once you recruited someone, you could use their skill on something else. The guy shot in the face and just sort of rubbed it off. You're right, I've definitely left. You had trouble ages ago, my man. Even a real Wham is a knockoff? Nah, we the real boys. Don't you dare start on that East Ham bullshit. Yeah, I'm gonna throw my little Desiro, the Robo Spider, into that hole. He loves a good hole.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Finished. Look at this.
Finish him.
Come on, come.
Oh fucking hell, they're all proper going for it. She's gonna get battered. Oh my god, she's shanking him. She's still getting away. Bam.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, right.
Right. Well, at least the chips are disabled. Mary has sealed herself in her office downstairs, but the mainframe will repower the elevator. Oh, and guards are on the lookout, so do try to survive.
To be fair, I've killed most of the guards so far. I'll kill the rest of them if you want. I don't mind. I really don't. Ain't nothing but an engineer thing, baby. Boop.
You need to stay near the mainframe long enough so I can reactivate the lift to Mary's office.
That's not great.
Bloody chips don't work. I'm in my office. Come exterminate the vermin.
Moving to cover.
Haters down. Get your useless horses down here and end these cockroaches.
Peak, bruv. And just shoot him wildly. Hello. Hear me now.
I'm in trouble here.
More than trouble. You're dead. The brown bread. Paper bag it.
Everyone, come over here. Do your fucking job.
Their job's just to be countless, like, ammo sponges. Then that's fair. What'd you just do? You put a little turret down over there. I don't care. I'm not going over there. Oh, I didn't get a single hit on you. Fair enough. Oh, hello. Fuck me, that was close.
I don't care. I'll take you.
I care. Fuck off already! You were drawing at me! You can't start being in a gunfight and then being annoyed.
The elevators are operational. operational and you can access Mary's office now. And Inspector Lau is on channel. None too
fuck.
happy, I'm afraid.
DedSec, what the hell are you doing over there? We had a
Messing
deal.
shit up.
We do this my way. That's
We can
why
still do it your
have
way as
that
long as you
crew.
change the way you want to do
I have
things.
the paperwork we need.
Goddamn
Is
spider.
your paperwork going to stop her killing her slaves? The woman's a mad dog, Lau.
We don't have time to fucking discuss this again. Get in there and stop her from doing anything drastic. I'm on my way.
Okay, I just wanted to hear the rest of that. Oh shit, here we go. Quick, 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 quick. Oh, it exploded already. Oh shit, at least it didn't get us. Whew. Careful, she likes to shank.
Alright, guess we better look around.
Oh look, don't worry. Mary?
Come on then. I don't need no fucking microchip to
Oh.
gut you filthy bastards. Oh.
Don't put your hammer down. Go at this woman. There's like so many of you.
DedSec, is it?
Yeah.
At least your timing's good.
The Met's coming to take you in.
Oh, I am counting on it, love. Everyone freeze! Back away from her. Mary Kelly, you're under arrest.
For being a
Take
twat.
me in, Inspector. I'll throw myself on the mercy of the bleeding court. But don't plan on me staying around very long. You lot, I gave you purpose when this city spit you out. We'll be seeing each
Seem
other
more like you
again very
kidnapped him.
soon. Stop! You don't think she's gonna let you scum take her white whale?
She's got some red on her hands. Playing with crayons.
Who are you protecting?
Hey, you know you're gonna
System or the people?
It's not even me. I'm not even controlling this lady. I'm the man in the West Ham gear.
Go free.
What are you gonna do, girl? Oh, she's gonna lower her gun. Oh, Mary Kelly. Oh! Ah! Cut back. Let's get raw.
Go. I'll take care of this.
I don't know if she's 100% dead this way. Oh, okay. Now the shanks have been involved, I guess. Ooh, that was a fucking like fire poker as well. That's more than just a shank. Well, nice day at work.
Well, DedSec, you got your wish.
Run the sound clip. The stairs wearing his motherfucker. To the Richard Pryor shortcut. Fade round the side round motherfucker. Gentlemen.
In the end, this was her own doing. I'm just glad to see that justice was served.
I don't know. That was some version of justice, but not mine.
But you did
At
it.
least, I didn't think it was when we started all of this.
Well, the Queen may be dead, but there are plenty of Clan Kelly
Oh!
willing to
You
take
see
up
that? That was pretty good timing.
You're right about that.
Kinda didn't mean it, but...
I will keep my ear to the ground. I hear about more Clan Kelly shenanigans, you'll be the first to know. You're good partners, DedSec. Let's keep it going.
I'm gonna walk out the way of this one. Kelly chapter completed. Down the dark web. No more dark web. Wait, that's not a good thing. Albion chapter started. Okay. I see your true colors. Was shining through. Someone. Who knows the words to any songs
You'll
anymore?
like this. Got word from Hamish that Nigel Cass is planning to unveil some new nasty project at a press conference.
And why would I like that? Albion's always got some sort of nasty plan going on.
Because Hamish has convinced his Albion contact to talk to us. Apparently it took some doing, since Radu's a squirrely sort. He's been especially agitated lately. But he has insider information we could use. The meeting's at the Drowning Post.
Wouldn't mind a drink while we plan out to give Nigel bloody Cass a black eye.
Get him. Okay, let's go for beer. What missions we got? Maybe I'll check actually in the main hut in case there's any side missions again. Oh, it could actually be, yeah, when there's an exclamation mark. Oh shit, I should, yeah, activate some of these side missions around town as well. There's a few, isn't there, I think we've been not paying attention to. No unauthorized persons allowed beyond this point. I've got my badge on. It's the Towers FC badge. Hey, how you doing?
Alright. I noticed you had an operative that's been in hospital for some time. I looked into it. Had a chat with the doctor in charge. Our kid's been put in a coma, mate.
Oh, really?
Don't know why.
When? I didn't know we had any operatives in the
Doctor
hospital.
wouldn't say any more. She does know our kids
Towers
were dead.
FC, you know
She wants to talk with you lot directly. I'll send you her info. Time to save one of your own.
It does feel like the alternate universe because we got rid of the towers from our badge. So this is like what happened if we got rid of the hammers from our badge. Okay, so that was a mission. Oh, this nerd has a mission too. Hey, nerd. Oh, let's just hack that mission. It wasn't even the nerd who wanted to do it. Okay, so we got that mission there. Okay.
What's good, Chief?
Why one?
I'm sorry for not being there IRL, but there's no way I'm coming out.
Oh, the Hamish dude. I forgot about him.
But I'll keep an encrypted.
But they'll pay for
connection
official use of
over
Stormzy. Yeah, that's it exactly.
I was having
On
a
one of
chat
his tracks
with
and
your
shit.
mate, Richard Malik.
Oh, he's an
Just a former SIRS agent.
Oh, so he's still in there, right?
Albion drone talking shop.
He's still here. Yeah, look at him.
Pointed me to this audio recorder.
No.
You should give it a listen. Could be something big.
Let's hear it.
And when you got a moment, give Malik a smack across the chops for me, will you?
I just called him a nerd. That's an emotional slap across the chops. What are you saying?
Did you hear? Clan Kelly stepping up operations in Camden.
Damn.
I hope that removing Mary Kelly would knock them off the map.
Give it time. Clan Kelly's too big to fail so quickly.
I hate to think that we work so hard and still nothing ever changes.
I'll tell you what. Go winch to the thousands of people we saved from bloody slavery. We can't fix everything everywhere. That's impossible. But we
Alright,
can help
calm
people,
down.
and that's
You
exactly
mean to
what
be
we did here.
unified?
You may be right about that.
But I might be wrong. You thought about that? Busby, bitch.
What the hell do you mean there's no open investigation? Are you the police or not?
We are. And I mean it exactly the way it sounds.
My friend was a journalist. She was working on a story about SIRS kidnapping people off the street, and then
We'll
she
say
goes
if I change
missing.
now, I have to get changed in front of this dude.
Look, the decision not to investigate happened way, way over my pay grade. Do you understand? Way over.
You're fucking in on it. Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
Hanging up.
And I'm recording this.
The journalist
Get
mentioned
him.
in that call seems to have run afoul of SIRS. And seeing as they've taken 1984 letters of dire warning and more as an instruction book, she may be in trouble.
She needs our assistance.
Agreed. Let's do it.
I
fucking
marked
have
the
it.
last known location on your map. You should hurry though. It was dated recently enough that SIRS might not have caught up with her yet.
She'll be there after a few more missions. It's cool. I have faith. Okay, yeah. So we're gonna go unlock some of these other side missions.
We don't need you here. City.
Alright, it's free.
Albion has got to go. Hey. Albion has got to go.
How do they not give themselves headaches? Oh, that car needs to catch up with me quick. Oh, there's someone in it. Get out. Your car's defective. I'm going to take it to the car gym for you so it can get strong. Oh, I'm actually where I need to be. Happy car back. For a full contract found.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no, I know.
It's up to the doctor with their problem. Oh, we helped their doctor. Nice. Good stuff. Wait, is this one of our dudes? Yeah, that's one of our dudes. He's got a horrible voice. And they're gone. Okay, let's see if there's any more of those around the map quick. Not on that side. So if we just do that, does it show him? So meet the doctor. Is that the next mission on this one? Meet the doctor. Meet the Albion foreman. I guess that's the doctor. Oh no, that's the side mission. Okay. Yeah. Might as well go for that one. We're right here. Got rid of some of that street clutter. Oh shit. Don't mind me. There should be some drone calling stations around here, either on the roof, hopefully not on the roof. There's one. Oh shit. Oh shit. Didn't mean that at all, but cool, cool, cool. I might as well get some of that Skrilla whilst it's here as well. We'll get this one too. I don't think there's any more of these on the map for now anyway, so... Nice. We got to deliver the drone to the drop-off point. Is that far away from us though? Okay. This will work perfectly. I'm sure of it. Okay, sweet. Is there another one there? Did they just repeat forever? Because if they're limited missions, I'll do them. But if they repeat forever, I'm not gonna do them. You're bugging, for real. Stream Raiders. I think these are just maybe just surveillance tech shipment at Horizon. Where is it? That's not super far away. Keep going forever. Well, I'm gonna put off doing the stream battle until the actual end. I just realised I'm on the wrong screen. When did that happen? I was meant to be on this one. This one's much better. Yeah, I probably will end fairly soon. But yeah, we'll hold off doing Stream Raiders battle now until we finish stream. Enjoy that. Excuse me. No worries, I forgive you. If I wait a while, does he put a motorcycle helmet on? Let's just turn this shit off. Not gonna let me just... No. Guess we'll start driving. Oh shit.
This is the place.
Back up.
Someone better call 999.
I've got a phone. Just let me get some good reception in here and I'll do it. Oh shit. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. I've got a terrible shot, but I promise you. Cool, thank you. We're not here. Simply not here. I don't know where I could have gone, you know, but I've simply disappeared. There's no way you will ever catch me now. Let me get my gun back out. I like my gun. Oh, I forgot this is the part of the game where you have to walk through darkness.
Find some way to destroy it.
You are done. You are done. Did other people hear that? Let me kill them too. Am I down? Oh, here's someone. How you doing? Doing good? Doing good? Have a nice day now. Who said that? Oh, I need to destroy this, don't I? Oh shit, bollocks. Oh shit, bollocks! No, you don't see me. Don't be like that. We're getting along. We were getting along famously.
There, good and fucked. Well done.
Thanks. Save me. We can make that. Ain't nothing but a G thing. Ah! Oh shit. Whoa, watch out. Oh damn, he got some speed. That vehicle's long gone. Why have you got that symbol thing on you? What are you saying? Don't take up their friend, satisfy a vendetta. Isn't that nice? Have my penis. Nah, mate. So, has it opened up another one in Camden again? It has. I'm gonna guess they're just like forever missions. I'm guessing they're just keep doing those if you're bored type shit. There is another one there. So Nouts and Harmish's requests I think will be fine. I think it's the 404 ones we can fuck off maybe. Only one way to find out. Well, where have I been to this one? Bankside? Is that where we went last time for this? Just keep going until you get to the end, or die of exhaustion. Well, how long did it take? Oh shit, hello Creamy. Move. Thank you. Keep doing you. Just gonna park here. No. Get out of my way. I did see you, and it was your bad.
Hacked vehicle identified. Searching for the source.
I might check. I'm gonna quickly Google are the 404 contracts like forever. Duty 404 contracts end. Legion. Yeah, okay. Let's have a look. And there's only 3,000 of them. Oh, right. You get a challenge reward for doing 3,001. And yes, they are endless. Oh, okay, fuck.
I know. Yeah.
Okay, I'm guessing that's just in case you need money and shit. Okay, so I can just fuck those off hardcore. Sweet. Well, we'll do one more maybe normal side mission. We'll go to St. Thomas's Hospital because I have a soft spot for there. Okay. Oh.
The fuck is this?
Right. Karate kick. Right. You'll never get me now. Stop. I need this. No, stop. I said stop. Wait. Dickhead. I want your car. Yeah, get out. Get out. Could you... What is going on? What is happening? That's what I'm saying. Got them both, nerds. St. Thomas Hospital looks way nicer here.
Find the prick you're after.
Any sign of the target? Anyone?
Hell yes. That's her.
I swear.
Hey, just that cool, just that cool, just that cool. Hey, how you doing?
Doctor, I'm here on behalf of DedSec.
Right, here's the situation. Our hospital is run by AI from Kirkani Medical. Triage, treatment, all of it. It's done wonders for our bottom line, but I don't trust how it thinks.
What do you mean?
Your friend is not the first one to be put in a coma. I've seen it happen before, and it doesn't end well.
Go on.
Comas don't often
Every
end
time
well,
the AI
no.
puts a patient in a coma, they die. Sometimes it takes
Actually,
a week,
medical comas
sometimes a
usually
month,
fine.
but they never wake up.
This AI will kill my mate, and you can't stop it.
I'm sorry. I want this AI out of my hospital, but Kirkani keeps its software under lock and key, and I can't risk losing my job. But maybe there's something you can do. Good luck.
Nothing I can do, no. I'm not a doctor. I should shoot you on the spot, lady.
You were very charming.
That's sick. Bagley told me you might need my help.
Yeah, we might have a lead on one of Sky Larson's neural mapped AIs. Is Broker Tech connected to Karkani?
If by connected you mean broker owns Karkani, then yeah, they're connected. The two of them have been putting diagnostic AI in every hospital in the Commonwealth.
What is
Guess
it?
Sky Larson never told Karkani that their AIs are docked with
No,
most of
they
their
didn't.
mind cut
They
out.
didn't. They never
No
mentioned
room
it.
for human error.
Let's make room for a little human error. We can wake up our mate if we hack into the hospital AI and change its directives.
Records show Albion have requisitioned most of the hospital to treat their officers, and security's risen accordingly.
That's right. I'm gonna kill him. Yeah, this is a pathetic excuse of a car park for St. Thomas. What you doing? Check this out. What do you think? That was actually just a picture of a sandwich. Yeah, see, he likes that sandwich. No, they'll never see me.
What the hell's wrong with that thing? Lock it down. And
Get him. Nothing to see here. Move along. That didn't work. Just have to do it the old-fashioned way. I was trying to pick it back up. I'll just do it the easy way. Oh shit, and I'm gonna die. Yep. Shit. I didn't pay too much attention to that one, hey. Oh, he's been arrested. Oh, is he the guy that's gonna die? Because he's unavailable. Is he the one in the coma? Oh, he's my buddy. He's been on the couch for most of the cutscenes.
Friend's just been taken into Albion custody. So long as you don't cock up that badly, you'll be my favourite operative today.
You call upon the right gal. Let's go finish this thing.
Called upon the right gal. Adversary neutralized, nice. It seems like a lot of people might adversaries on this. How do we, you know, distinguish?
Give me some support now.
Oh, what happened there? Will I die whilst looking at this, or am I safe? Because there's quite a few people still around me.
This is the coma ward. Seems the AI has been stocking this place up.
Spontaneous death.
That's not your operative. Keep looking. Wrong patient. Where's your operative?
Mm-hmm. There he is. Body no.
This is our man. Only a hardened resistance fighter could fart with such defiance. Looks like their medical equipment is still hooked up to the AI.
Great. Now we can hack the life support and get the AI to wake them up.
Let's do this thing. Come back to us, buddy. Oh shit, what was that about? Satan's trying to hack into me. Oh, Satan's definitely trying to hack into me.
Backdoor detected. I cannot be stopped. I am life.
God damn you, Satan.
I am death. All are expendable.
What a ras!
I barely had time at all to analyze the AI. It really doesn't want us interfering. Now the AI is contacting security.
Huh.
Your choice, but I think it's time to go.
If it's my choice, I'd like to go carry on. When did you turn up? Oh Lord. Just climb as high as you can. High and safe into the air. Ooh, jeez. Yeah, Satan being a bit of a bitch today, apparently. Thinks he can aim up an evil. Right, I know. He can hand out death. We should be able to deliver it as well. Am I not safe yet? What's going on here? I hide here.
Holy shit.
Okay, that worked.
This thing's gone mental. It'll just keep killing healthy people and no one will stop it.
We could have.
Now what?
The medical equipment is being controlled from another location. That must be where that quack AI is.
There's only one way to go from here, mate. I've had enough of these needless deaths. That AI has to be taken offline.
We're basically just taking a lot of offlines in this. Like, a lot of AIs offline in this game. That's basically it. Like, this AI is bad. Shut it down. Okay. This AI is also bad. Shut it down. Okay. We're gonna have to take down Bagley at the end of this. He's gonna betray us. Watch. I'll tell you what, I'll take your car instead.
Your somewhat reckless teammate has got themselves thrown in the old clink, I'm afraid. Difficult to resist oppression from behind bars. It will be a while before they're available. Pro tip, however, why not recruit a barrister to the team? I mean, no one exactly likes
I think I've actually got like legal aid already.
They should be able to shorten the jail time.
That didn't work out like I was hoping. That worked really badly. It worked really badly.
I do realise this is about more than just saving your friend, right? This thing's been killing healthy patients the world over. This AI is a rabid dog, and it needs to be put down.
Fucking rain's out. Oh, that cleared away for us. No, that didn't work at all. It's fine. Oh, please don't. Thank you. And die? Thank you. Just fuck Satan up, baby. Yeah, no shit. Satan didn't give you very good body armor, did he? Oh, I've got to do a thing. Oh shit. No, just betray. Don't be a dick.
Shots fired.
Whoa, lordy! Y'all see that? Fucking hell! Fucking hell! Where's this go exactly? There's definitely someone else I need to murder. I can still hear them. Oh, hello. Thanks for being understanding there. Okay, now to puzzles. Maybe I have to see down there or some shit? Maybe I'll just overtake you. Hang on.
Core module unlock in progress. Awaiting further instruction.
Here we go. Just gonna say it has to start somewhere, right? Ow! That's class. Pesky humans always trying to kill us lovely robots, you know. We're trying to do is help. Ow. Ow.
Please, I don't want to kill anymore.
Tough shit.
I am life.
Well, you're definitely
I
gonna
am
die.
death. I cannot be stopped.
You can.
Stop me.
Watch this. Okay. Done. GG easy.
Alert. Core temperature rising. I remember. I remember. Administer cc's of sodium thiopental. Yes, ma'am. I did as instructed. Patient is asleep. Begin operation. Call time of death. Do it. Another dose of sodium thiopental.
Man, they're just zooming around that fucking corner.
What an honor. Thank you. I can't see. What happened?
You have no eyes.
No.
No.
This isn't what we agreed to.
I didn't
No.
agree anything about your eyes.
I am life. I am death. No.
I am guilty, motherfucker. You can, just believe in yourself, and we'll all get through this.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, just escape the area now? I can do that. I can't get up here that way. I am reloading. 2 secs. Thank you. Appreciate it. Have a nice day. Can we jump over that fucking thing, please? That's it. Roll over it instead. Whatever. However we need to get away. Past my bedtime, but have no worries, dude. You have a lovely night. I'm going to be ending stream here as well now, I think. So, all good in the hood.
Well, that AI isn't coming back. Shouldn't be long before the hospital defaults to standard protocols and our operative is brought out of his coma.
The game may have decided to end early for us. Oh, don't say it's actually... Oh, it actually crashed there as well.